Hey guys, DylanSchuyler here with 5 months of tea. Woo! Okay, so this is gonna be a really short one because I gotta go. And I'm gonna be somewhere else tonight. I'm going down to Mass for my last astrology class, so I just wanted to do this super quick beforehand. Today is still my tea day. I'm just doing it earlier. And I could do it tomorrow, but I made the decision that today is better, and I didn't want to have to bring all of my filming equipment with me, so that's why we're doing it right now. It is daytime, so I may have a slight issue with trying to do my injection because we know if I have more energy, I struggle to do it. So that being the reason, you guys are gonna see me do my thigh for the first time. Last week I did this leg. This week I'm doing this leg. So you guys are gonna get to see me do my thigh, and I'm still gonna take my vitamins on camera. So I got this. And since it's early enough in the day, this is actually around the time that I normally wake up. You're gonna see me drink one of these. I have one of these every day. I actually spent this whole last week sick. This actually helped me feel a little bit better whenever I took it. There was a couple days where I didn't take it because I was just like, what? I was very tired. I had a sore throat and a stuffy nose, and I was just like, Functioning was not a thing. I even struggled to make myself food one of the days. So, yay! I have tiny little notes. I did get laid off from my job this week, so there isn't that much stuff that I got to update you guys on. But let's start with the first thing. I was listening to this dark psychology book and I finished it, but near the end of it, it was telling you positions to sit and stand in that can boost the testosterone in your body naturally, which right now I'm not sitting in an optimal one. I should be sitting something like this. This is one of them, kind of spreading your legs a little bit and then kind of having your hands together and sitting forward a little bit. Try to still sit up straight a little bit. Standing like this can kind of do it as well. And also kind of leaning in, maybe doing something like this a little bit. And then kind of standing with your hands on your hips. That helps boost the testosterone. It's also really good for kind of standing in those positions before you go into an interview, because when you boost testosterone naturally in your body, it gives you more confidence, and it's one of the confidence hormones. So I'm sure women could do it as well. So if you're going into an interview and you're not feeling very comfortable, definitely stand in one of those kind of power poses, and just kind of just stand there and just be 2 or 3 minutes of just kind of standing there like this, and it'll kind of give you a little bit more confidence. It'll also put a little bit more eyes on you, so be I don't want to say careful, just be mindful that some people might look at you more as an authority figure when you do that kind of stuff. So just be aware of that. And just standing up straight, keeping your shoulders back, that's a really good one too. I mean, obviously that's just a given that more confident people will stand like that or sit like that. And the reason why it came up in the dark psychology book was kind of training yourself to show off being more of the person in control kind of thing. And so it was in a way teaching you the ways of kind of manipulating people if you wanted to, or ways that people can unintentionally do it as well. So it was kind of giving you a little bit warning signs that maybe you could look for in stuff like that. But I was also kind of taking it on as this is a good testosterone stuff, so let me bring it to you guys, because anybody who also wants to be on T could just sit there and just be all right, let me boost my testosterone for like a couple minutes, just like stand here, feel a little bit more confidence. Which this posture also can come across as like impatience. Um, this one can kind of come back and come as like relaxed, chilling, um, maybe a little bit of daydreamer as well. Um, but that can boost stuff. Also, like kind of sitting back and putting your feet up as well. That's also something that can boost your testosterone. And then like doing like the man spread and then like putting your arms out like that kind of thing on a couch or something. And it just gives you more of the comfortable, confident kind of vibe as well. So there's that. And I wanted to like kind of talk about that. And then later on that week, I hung out with a trans lady, and she's really cool, and she's kind of like on the size line of like my mom a little bit, which actually this is my mom's coat. I am wearing it right now, and this is one of my favorite coats that I used to like steal from her because it is like it's fuzzy, it's warm. I have nothing underneath this. I'm literally wearing a tank top, and this thing's keeping me warm. But I do have my house warm now, right now. I did finally turn the heat on because it was making it down to 40 degrees and my house was like at 53, and I was like, okay. And my cats were like, I don't like the cold, and they were all like piling on top of me, and my dog was piling on top of me. I'm like, this is fine, but like I need to get myself doing stuff, guys. It was great while I was sick to just have like all the animals piled on top of me, which was kind of fun and cute and cuddly and fun. um, and so I hung out with this trans lady. We were really connected. We talked about like the kink community a little bit too, and she was like asking about like what I'm into, what kind of stuff I like, um, other stuff like that. But we kind of came to the conclusion that I'm gonna probably give some of my mom's clothes to her, and her partner is also a trans man, so they got married as their cisgenders, and then they both transitioned, and it's working out great for them. And it's interesting to kind of hear the difference between someone transitioning to female versus someone transitioning to male. And so I was kind of asking her about like what stuff she like experiences, and she has experienced like for someone going trans to female, so starting out as a male and then starting their transition, their penis actually shrinks and then kind of takes on the form a little bit of like a clitoris. And so that was interesting to know because I didn't really know much about that. And I was like, okay, that makes sense because my previous partner, was starting to get a little self conscious about her penis. And I remember her saying that she doesn't really feel comfortable doing anything with me anymore because during that time period that we were together, I liked her penis. So she possibly was embarrassed about that and didn't think I would accept her the way she was changing and becoming. So that's kind of a good thing to know because she did, at the end of our relationships, kind of express discomfort with anything sexual with me, which our relationship was very complicated. We played the off and on role of like hooking up and not, and then friends, and then off and on friends, and it was too complicated. I finally recorded the last episode of her, so I am kind of moving on to not really talking about her anymore, and I feel she and I have taken our separate paths, and we're probably not going to come back to each other. So, like at all, not even as friends. So, yeah, I think it's probably for the best, and it's good. I've noticed how much she kind of weighed me down a lot in like my spiritual growth and emotional growth as well. Um, but then she also kind of gave me a boost at the beginning to like being more myself. So that was good. Um, and so it was good to kind of like learn the changes that she's experiencing. And during like the first I think it's like 3 months maybe or something like that. I think she said. I don't know. I don't remember the exact timeline, but she said during the first whatever amount of time you're a lot more emotional and you cry a lot easier and like your emotions go haywire and you feel like the whole world is falling apart. And I'm sitting there like, yep, that's female puberty. Yep. So, but I was trying to be like very open with her about her experiences and kind of reaffirm her, because she was saying to me how she doesn't really have many trans female friends. And I was talking to her and I was like, I have one trans female friend, so at some point I'd probably like to introduce you guys, because I know she's also looking for more trans community friends as well. And she also was mentioning to me she doesn't really have very many trans female friends either. So, and I don't have many trans male friends either. So that's an interesting kind of like looking at the two differences of us. Um, but she let me meet her partner, and her partner is pretty cool. He's a little quiet, which is totally fine. Most trans men I meet are usually really quiet. They don't really say very much. There was one trans man who I met, and he was very verbal about everything. And he always told me if I have any questions, ask him. But in more recent years, I don't know, he just doesn't seem like he's very interested in kind of talking or hanging out with me anymore. Whenever I try to talk with him, it's like a long excuse message of like reasons why things won't work out, and I'm just like, okay, cool. I'm just gonna leave you alone. So there's that. And then so I was talking about Grinder last week a little bit, and yeah, it. I did try to push for having a hookup. I really just wanted to have a hookup and like kind of learn what my sexual experiences are more gonna be like now. What am I still into? And so I did meet up with a guy, and I had no idea how old he was. I didn't really know anything about him, which is fine, is whatever. I mean, and we kind of set a basis of like what I like in the bedroom kind of space, and like what not to do kind of thing, which I forgot to mention that I don't like oral. I don't like oral receiving it. I don't like oral giving it. Um, so then we kind of got into the space, and then he was like, oh, you want it in your mouth? And I was just like, no, I don't do oral. And so he persisted onto trying to go down on me, and I'm sitting there like, I'm already starting to kind of like be like, I am very uncomfortable with this. He had a good time. He said I tasted great and like gave me a taste basically. And I mean, it's whatever. But it's not something I like at all. I don't like faces near my genitals. I don't like my face near anyone's genitals. It's if you've listened to my podcast, you probably know why. It's in the first episode. Oral is not my thing. I do not like it. It makes me uncomfortable. And so, yeah, it just. And then we ended up fucking, and he let me be on top, which is the way that I usually like it. But the way his bed was, it was too soft, so I couldn't really brace myself easily to be able to get the right leverage. But it wasn't anything to brag about. It wasn't that fun. I did feel a little pressured when I first got there to that it was probably going to lead into that, which I usually like to try to get to know somebody before I do anything with them, but it was a hookup. That's what I wanted, and whatever. I got it done and over with. Um, he gave me his number. He wanted to make a regular thing out of it. I thought on it for a couple days, and I was going to message him and text him, but I just kind of came to the conclusion that that's not something I want. I'm really not into him. I'm not attracted to him. And during that experience, I realized I really don't like penises anymore. I don't like to have a sexual experience with a penis. I don't mind possibly doing pegging, but again, it's not really my thing. I'm much more of like body on body contact, smelling each other, passionate kissing. Um, I've never really had a sexual experience with a girl, so I can't say if I would like it, but I would love to at some point. But I've only ever had sexual experiences with people who have penises. So it's fine, it's whatever. He did end up letting me like kind of peg him, which was the more fun part of the experience. I like more feeling like I'm the guy, I'm the dominant. I'll even go as far to say I am a sadist, because I am a sadist. um, I am a dominant sadist, and so he kind of put me in the submissive role at first, and at that point I was still thinking I was a switch. And after that experience, I went back to like there's a BDSM test thing you can take online, and I took it again, and I'm not submissive at all anymore. I am not a switch. I am 100% dominant and 100% to sadist. And I have a little bit of vanilla on there too, but I don't know. I just don't picture myself being with somebody ever again who has a penis. So if you're watching this and you have a penis and you're into me, I'm sorry. I'm not ever going to date you. I'm not going to ever be with you. I am a straight man, basically. There is a slight blurred line for trans females, but even then, there's still a bit of a disconnect for me on that one as well. So it would be mainly people who are trans men or cisgender females or non-binary people. All people with vaginas, though. I am a fan of the Vagina Club. um, and so I know it's possibly a little bit too much information, but I'm trying to be open about like my changes and my experiences, and so you guys know if you're gonna go into testosterone, what you're gonna experience. Before I started testosterone, I have always been attracted to females. I would say I was bisexual, omnisexual, demisexual was what I identify as. I'm not so sure about the omnisexual anymore. I don't know specifically what the sexuality would be called for being attracted to people with vaginas would be. I'll look it up at some point, and if I have a word for it, I'll tell you guys. But until then, that's kind of like what I'm into. Um, Sometimes the trans men I find a little bit of a disconnect too, because there's just not a connection there or something, and that kind of falls into the demisexual because I need to have an emotional connection with somebody to be able to kind of have this like internal passion for somebody. I don't like to have sexual experiences without an emotional bond to somebody, so that's why I was kind of like with the hookup. It felt very robotic, and like we were just kind of basically two pieces of flesh that were just like, yeah, so fun. Yep. No. Not my thing. So I wouldn't say it was a terrible experience because I wanted it, and it was consensual, so it wasn't like anything like rape or anything like that. So there's that. But we live and we learn, and I got that over with, and now I know more about me, and that was the goal. So yay, hook up. But I deleted Grindr after that because I was just like, nah, this ain't for me, man, not my thing. And so yeah, that was like the last thing I had kind of on my list to talk about. My relationship with Dick has fully changed. I don't mind toys that look like Dick. That's totally fine. But it being attached to a human, I don't think so. And plus, like, I don't know if it's because of emotional disconnect or what, but I always get UTIs after I have sex with somebody with a penis. And it's always with a person who has a penis, not like my toys that look like penises and stuff. It's specifically whenever it's somebody with a penis. And I think it's because they're too aggressive with me. They're not very gentle. The guy ended up being too aggressive at one point. And he noticed and he apologized because I told him specifically, do not be rough with me. And then he was. I also did tell him that it was okay for him to smack my ass, and it was fine a little bit at first, but then he got like way too in it. And then he also said he felt like he was in a porn, and that really bothered me because, yes, I'm attractive, and yes, my body is like carved by fucking Aphrodite or some shit. I don't know. But he was sitting there, he's like, geez, what am I, in a porn or something? And I'm just sitting there like, that is probably the last thing I ever wanted to hear. So immensely uncomfortable with that comment, and I keep hearing that one playing in my head, and it makes me very uncomfortable. So if you're with somebody and you don't know them, don't say you're in a porn. I've heard many things, and that one's a first, and I don't like that one. I am not one that likes to feel like I'm being filmed or being watched while I do stuff like that. It makes me self-conscious. I feel that a moment with somebody should be very intimate, and I am much more for one-on-ones, I guess. I've never had a threesome, so I can't really say, and I've never had an orgy either, so I can't really say on that front either. But it's kind of like one of those situations where you just know, I guess. But, I mean, I also slightly do want to try it at least once. I don't mind trying it at least once, just kind of experience it. But, again, I feel if I was to have a threesome, it would probably be with 2 other ladies. Or 2 people with vaginas. I do not want dick involved. So there's that. But yeah. And then this week, I've kind of just, as I said, been laying around trying to feel better because I got sick. And it was kind of all right after I got the UTI. I got a UTI, and then it was my second to last day of work. My nose started becoming runny, and then I got a sore throat, and so I spent the whole entire weekend just resting. I slept like 17 hours the first day, woke up, tried to stay awake for somewhat hours, but then my body was like, no, let's go back to sleep. Next day I slept probably about the same and struggled to stay awake for that time again. And I was having tea and one of these, and then I was drinking some water. I wasn't able to really make myself food either one of those days. And then I had my last day of work, and I was feeling a little bit better, but then being awake and working for 8 hours really kind of took a little bit of a toll on me. So I came home and I crashed, and then the next day I was feeling a bit better, so I was able to kind of like sit on the couch versus in my bed all day, and I made myself food finally and ate that, and then went to bed, and then woke up the next day and I felt even better, and I was still trying to rest, and then I couldn't really do too much else, so I was just like, alright, I'm just gonna like spend this day resting again. And then yesterday came around and I had more energy, and I finally went through bags of my mom's clothes. I still had a little touch of a sore throat though, so I was trying to like drink some teas and a vitamin C drink or something, and I was able to get a lot done. I put a bunch of listings of stuff that I want to sell onto eBay. So if you guys want to go buy something from me, go onto my eBay and buy it, please. I do not want this shit anymore. If you feel the price is too high, just message me and we can try to negotiate something. But a couple of those things are sort of a bit more important, so that's why the prices are up higher. For the books, if you want any of those books, I literally will sell any of those books possibly to you for like $5, possibly. We'll see. Depends on the book. But I have a lot more that's gonna go onto there. I'm trying to like have stuff on there for at least 3 months before I take it down, and then just bring it to Goodwill, because I'm tired of being surrounded by a bunch of junk. It's exhausting looking at it. It's exhausting seeing it. It's not fun. So that's my goal right now. I just put a list together of like what I want my daily schedule to be, because now I'm unemployed. So I'm able to focus on myself and everything around me a lot more. I did apply for unemployment. I'm waiting to hear back from them. Hopefully they get back to me soon. And then I'm waiting to get my last paycheck, wherever the heck that is. And then I'm going to be selling my car as well. Yeah, that's kind of my goal right now. So now that I've talked your ear off for God knows how long, let's get into taking our supplements. I probably also need to put deodorant on before I leave. A little stanky here. Another fun little thing, my dad did end up calling me on Thursday, and I answered the phone, and because of my throat and my nose being the way they were, I was like, hello? And he was like, he just like razzed me, because that's our way of like saying hello. That one was calcium. Then he was like saying to me, he's like, how are you doing? And I was like, sick. And he's like, oh, okay. And I was like, yeah. And he's like, yeah, I was about to say, you sound really manly. And I was like, I was sitting there thinking in my head, I'm like, that's awesome. I'm glad I sound more manly. But then a piece of me was also like, oh boy, I'm so tired. And so I told him that, like, about what was going on. And he was like, it makes more sense. But then I also slightly brought up that I am on T, which is like the first time that I really ever said to him that I'm on T. I'm sure he probably has gathered that by seeing me post my videos of being on testosterone. So I would hope. So yeah. And turmeric. Yeah, these new turmerics, ugh. Somehow the turmeric's getting out of like the little shell, and it doesn't taste good. You were sitting there not moving. I was scared for a second. You're so cute. You're being very good over there. Honey is right there. I don't know if you guys can see her, but she's being really cute. Such a good girl. Yes, you are. Aw, look at you smiling. You're so cute. That was the magnesium, and this is the biotin. And zinc. My main reasoning to possibly why I think I got sick, I was not taking my supplements for like a whole week. And I think it was possibly because of having that hookup, because it kind of messed with my mental state a little bit. so that kind of sucked. And yeah, it really, I had to like clear my energy after that, because like I could just feel his energy and it just was not nice. So yay. Alright, so let's get on to the injection. I don't know how long I'm taking it. Yeah, I'm still doing like a 45-minute video right here. Your boy likes to chat. Hey Beanie, what you doing? What you doing? What you doing? Oh yeah, voice cracks are a lot more prominent now, which I still think is hilarious and fun. So I'm sitting there making jokes and saying hi to my animals, and I'm also like still trying to sing some of the feminine songs, but it's kind of weird because I'm sitting there and I'm like trying to sing them and I'm just like, my voice don't do that no more. So like it'll voice crack in the middle of singing a song and I'm just like, whoops. Like I used to be able to sing Flowers so good. And now I really can't sing Flowers too much anymore. Alright. Put this, I'm gonna need to get a new piece of tape for this soon because it's starting to like wear away. Just put that back on. Okay. Alright, so we are going to be doing a thigh one today. So you guys get to see the first thigh. I'm a lot more faster and quicker with the thigh one. I'm gonna leave this right here for a moment. And yes, I do have to pull my pants down for this, which I think you guys should be able to see this. So this is a previous scar right here. Yes, I draw on my legs. So if you're seeing the markings, yeah, that's me drawing on my legs because I'm weird and I like to draw on my legs. Currently, this is one of the ones I have on my leg that I've drawn. These ones are all like a week old. So let's get the alcohol and clean a spot. Fun fact, if you draw on your legs, the alcohol will remove it if you need it to. So let's do like right here. I like to not try to remove stuff, but here I'll do an example right here. This one right here. You can kind of see. And yes, black Sharpie is purple, which you can kind of see a little bit of like a lavender color on there. I don't know if the pigment is picking up properly through the camera, but yep. So there's that. And just need a tissue. Now let's get Mr. Bubble out of here. Still one little bubble. Try to get that out. A little bit left I can squeeze. There we go. Alright. And so just like that. A lot quicker on my thighs than my belly. But I did this thigh. I did the injection right here, and it went perfectly smoothly and was totally fine. I pull the needle out, and then there's a little bit of blood in the tip of the syringe, and I was like, what the? Which I don't normally see that. And then it just like poured out like a big bead of blood, and I was like, what the? And like I covered the tip of like one of these completely in blood, and I was like, did I hit something I shouldn't have? And I didn't, but I cleaned it up, and it was really quick to clean up, and I was like, whoa, that's a first. Never had that happen. Alright, and just like that, we are good. And so that's that for the thigh stuff. Let me just pull my pants up and redo my button now. Yeah. Alright. So that's that for this week, guys, and I hope you like this semi-shorter episode. I'm actually also going to get my ears pierced today, so I'm going to have another one of these guys on this side, and I'm going to try to get like a helix or something. I'm not sure if I'm doing the high helix or like the side helix yet, and then I want to have the rook done as well, so I don't know if I'm going to go with this one or this one first, but I want to try to do some sort of 3 in there. I also did like a little picture diagram of like all the piercings that I want to do on my ears, which actually I'll put the picture in here so you guys can kind of see what I want to do. It's going to take a while to get all that I want done to it done, because they only let me do 3 at a time, and I'm like, ah! Alright, so I hope you guys have a great day, night, time, whatever you're doing, and if you want to find me on my other socials, I'm also going to link my eBay in there too, so if you guys want to buy anything from me, it's down there now, so please buy something from me. I want to sell this shit. I hope you guys have a great week. I will see you in the next 2 weeks for 5.5 months. Thanks, guys. Bye.